Okay, in this first recording, what I'm going to be doing is providing a bit of a demo of using the Linux command line. So what I'm going to be starting with is some explanation of how to move around in Linux. So there are a few commands that you will need to move around when you're in a Linux command line environment. So the first command I'm going to show you is pwd. This stands for print working directory. So that needs to be written as pwd. This will tell you where you currently are. So this is important for finding where you are as you're moving around in the file system. So if you're not sure, pwd, print my working directory, this will show you your current directory. The next command I'm going to be using is ls. So ls is the list command. So this is to list the directory that you're in, as in list all the files and folders. So if I do ls, you can see that there's a few items in this folder. There's 4 different items. Now, I can add to this ls command by just adding a space and then a -l. And this says I want to list a long version of the list. So if I do this, you'll see that instead of listing it just as short names like this, instead I get this longer view. So I get, a summary, and then I get some information. I get an owner and a group that owns the file, and then I get the file name, some edit information, etc. I also get this section here. So this first character in this long listing tells me the type of the item. So D stands for directory here. So you can see that I've got a directory called G, a directory called Linux settings. I've also got this L. So L is a link, and you can see that my shell here has showed me that I have a link called P, and that links to this full path. And then I've got another directory here, D. Okay, so we've got pwd to show us where we are, and then we've got ls. Now, how do I actually move around in the file system? So now I need the command cd. So if I do cd into G, so cd space G, this will move me into that G directory. So now if I do an ls-l, you can see that inside of my G directory, so this is my Git repositories, I have several more directories. So you can see these are all D, they're all directories. Okay, so I've moved into the G directory. And if I do now print working directory, you can see that my path is now includes /G. Now, I may want to sometimes move out of the directory, so move up one directory. So how do I do that? So I'll first show you that you can use ls and -l for long and a for all items. So this will show me these 2 extra entries. You see these 2 extra entries. There's this one that's just a single dot or period character, and then there's one that's this double period character. So what these are special directory entries. Dot refers to the directory I am currently in. So when I do pwd, this is the directory I'm currently in, the G directory. And then you have ... which refers to the directory above the directory I'm currently in. So in this case, this will refer to the jtucky directory here. So now, when I want to change my directory, I can cd and I can say ... Now what I'm saying is I want to change my directory, and I want to change it to the directory above the one I'm currently in. So if I execute that and do print working directory, you can see that now I've moved up one directory. I'm no longer in the G directory. And if I do another ls-la, you'll see that there's a lot of files actually in this directory. This is actually more than we saw earlier. So when we were in this directory earlier, we saw 4 folders and some folders and a link. But if we look here, we see suddenly lots of items. So this is because again of this -a. So I'll demo again. If I do, I'll just do some new lines. So I'll do ls, and you see just a short list. I'll do ls-l, and you see the same list, but just with more detail. And then I'll do ls-la, and you see the really big long list. So what's going on here is that you can see all of these items that were hidden. They start with this dot, this period character, or the full stop. And on Linux, period characters are treated as hidden files or directories, or links, or any object starting with a dot is hidden. But when you use this -a, as in I want to list all things, that includes any hidden items, including the directory you're in, this special directory name, the directory above, and then all of these hidden directories. Now this is my home directory, so you can see there's a lot of like configuration, cache, some RC files. There's lots of hidden stuff in my home directory. Anyway, if we want to keep moving up though, we can do again cd ... And now if I do print working directory, you can see I've made it up to the /home directory. So now if I do an ls-l here, you can see there's just this jtucky directory. So this is my home directory. If we do that again, cd ... now we have reached the very top of the file system. So just this single /, that is the root of the file system on Linux. And Linux has this concept that everything in the file system comes from this root path, this /. So if I cd ... again, and then do print working directory, you can see that although it accepted the command, it didn't actually move me. I'm still at the top directory. So I'll just do another ls here, and you can see there's a bunch of items. I'll do an ls-l just to demo that the top directory, this /, the root directory, it basically just contains a bunch of other directories, looking at the little d here, and these contain all the files that make up a Linux system. So we've got binary files, boot files, device files, etc files, so these are configuration files. We've got those home directories, libraries, mount and media directories, and then a bunch of special directories, some user, and then var, which is the data directories, as in var, as in variable data. Okay, so that's it for this video. I will do another one later.